Wow, those were some really high quality commercials. We spent a bundle on those. What do you think, crew? Yeah, thanks a lot.
Talk.
Yeah. Hey, Omer, that was awesome. There's the sort of Cepheus looks like a great project. Great cover art too, man. And yeah, I hope everybody picks up a copy of the cookbook and checks out These Stars Are Ours. Alrighty then. Let's see. I want to welcome. Let's see. Admiral Crowe, are you in the? Are you here?
I am indeed. Indeed,
Hello,
I've been
hello.
I've been I've been poop talking you in chat.
I know. I can kind of see that. Yeah. So
Thanks,
let's.
thanks, Omer. Good to see you again this year.
So tell me. You have to catch up with the rest of the crew. See, everybody else knows about how their characters came to be connected and hook up with this group. But before we get into that, I just wanted to mention a few things. We're only Monk. Did you know that we're only halfway through our show?
No, I
It,
did not. I'm
yes,
glad to hear it because that just means I have way more time to hang out with everyone here and have a
yeah.
good time.
It's it's gonna be like 9.5 hours of traveler goodness. I promised, and I'm gonna
It's
deliver.
it's the day for it. The
Yes,
day
sir.
for it.
Today's Mayday, and we're gonna celebrate Traveler Day in the craziest, nerdiest way by having a virtual Traveler Con.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say to everyone who's been chatting away in the main box there. It's been great. Some of the conversations in there about you know books and influences and things people have read and stuff like that because I think it's a great opportunity for people to learn something new or discover something that they might want to go check out. So it's really great.
Yeah, so I appreciate your participation, and I wanted to remind people, don't forget to register for the prize drawing. It's a free prize, no purchase necessary. Just go to our website, and there's a couple different ways you can register. You can sign up for our newsletter using the form at the bottom of every page on the site. You can download any of the free stuff listed in the sidebar on our blog under free stuff, or you can download any title from our online shop, either free or paid, or you can sign up for event notifications or interest lists. Like there's an interest list for ships, there's an interest list for events. I think there's one for maps. Anyway, if you poke around the site, you'll find ways of getting onto the newsletter. And we're going to pick a prize winner at the end of the event tonight, and they're going to win a ginormous prize bundle, including Squadron Strike from Ad Astra Games, um, the Traveler version, the complete PDF bundle, the Universal World Profile and Solo from Zozer Games. We heard about those earlier. Well, Solo anyway. We're gonna You get a El Cheapo's Portraits bundle. You get modes from Verdigris Press, which is like a object condition um, expansion. You get a copy of Sword of Cepheus from Stellagama Publishing. Thank you, Omer. You get Subsector Sourcebook Earth and Earth Sector from Independence Games. You get a hard copy of Herald class starships signed by the author who spoke to us earlier today, Craig Gleasoner. You get a free movie download from Cheesy Flicks, one of our partners here. Actually, Cheesy Flicks is part of the crew. That's Mr. Rats. Thank you, Cheesy Flicks. Great place for great resource for Mystery Science Theater and also like crazy old black and white movies and like weird propaganda films and also radio shows and stuff. Um, you'll get a copy of the D66 Compendium Tube by John Brazer Enterprises. You'll get a copy of the Galaxy Interface, which is sci-fi animated maps for Roll20 from 2D Storyteller. Thank you, 2D Storyteller. I see you out there. Um, uh, you will get a copy of the sci-fi RPG starter set from me, Cyborg Prime Games. You'll get a copy of the Relic, an adventure module for Roll20 from me. And then the big prize is a Pirates of Drynex box set donated by Mongoose Publishing. So thank you very much to our prize sponsors. Also, I wanted to mention that we have some other things going on. Like I said, we're halfway through. We heard from, I think, 4 interviews so far. We're going to have another one coming up here at 4:30. We're going to hear from John Watts at Independent Games. And then after that, we're going to come back here and chat with the crew some more. We got some weird little fun and games things that we're doing throughout the night. I'll get to that in a second. After John Watts, or during John Watts' interview at 5 o'clock Mountain Time, there's going to be a charity game streamed over on another Twitch channel, High Shelf Gaming's Twitch channel, Murder on Arcturus Station, which is a charity game hosted by Patrick Kanouse to benefit the Carcinoid Cancer Foundation. So go over there and drop a couple of bucks to help out that worthy cause. There's kinds of crazy prizes and stuff he's giving away over there. Very generous prize packs going on for that charity event. So again, give what you can to Carcinoid Cancer Foundation. It's a worthy charity. After that, we will hear from Mike Leonard, Matthew Sprange, who is the author of Mongoose Traveler 2nd Edition, and he's also the owner of Mongoose Publishing. And then we're going to hear from our keynote speaker, Mr. Mark Miller, the creator of Traveler. Well, him and his compatriots, but he holds the license, and he's also the publisher of Traveler 5th Edition. So we'll hear from him. And then afterwards, we're going to have a crew and company where we'll just have another hangout afterwards. We'll bring in some of the publishers, 2D Storyteller, Ad Astra, Amber Zone, Stellagama, whoever's hanging out in the publisher's zone. We'll bring them into the panel, and we'll open the mics up, and we'll have a little hangout and chat afterwards if people are into it. We had a spontaneous one last year. It was kind of fun. So yeah, all right. So let's. I guess that's all the announcements. Now let's get on to some fun stuff. Let's. I promised some things that you can think about for your character, some character development. So the first one was something found. Think about that for a second. Something found. The second thing is a gift. Now these are things from the Ultimate RPG Character Backstory Guide. Great book. If you can if you order it, I think they have it on. I saw it on Amazon. I'll provide a link for it in the description. But it's a fun way to kind of flesh out your characters. And so we've been going over this little exercise they have, which is 5 things your character can't throw away. You have a box of mementos that you take with you on your travels. There are 5 items in the box. The first item, which we covered in the last break, was something found. You've been holding on to something no larger than your fist. Long ago, you found it on one of your first missions. You thought it might come in handy one day, and so we went around the panel and everybody talked about that. Get out your pens and paper, and if you fill these little hints out, by the time we're done with this event, you'll have a little background for your character. The second thing is it's a gift. Somebody gave you received a piece of fine clothing that you have only had occasion to wear a few times. It is well tailored and far too fine to discard. So what kind of clothing is it? Who gave it to you and what was the occasion? Well, think about that. And while you're thinking, I'm going to reintroduce Admiral Crowe, who's the pilot of the Implication, or part of our weekly traveler crew. Why don't you introduce your character, Admiral?
Well, I mean, usually no introduction is needed for the Admiral.
You need a herald?
Here we go.
even the gallery knows. So yeah, so Admiral Crowe is one of those characters that you don't get very often, where somehow you manage to make it to the end of character generation and he's reached kind of the lofty maximum heights of his career. He's a character who started out with almost nothing, from a poor world, poor family background, managed to make it into a Navy career, and then it just took off from there. Of course, though, being retired and having been living the fine life, he enjoys cigars and fine whiskeys and drinks and the Travelers Aid Society and other such things. So the rest of the crew is kind of calling him Admiral Princess because of his predilections for those fine things. And he definitely would be described as a bit of an alcoholic. But he is he's a great pilot. He runs. He's not just a pilot. He's the astrogator, the sensors guy. Most of the shipboard things he covers. So when we're in space, he's an important character on the ship. But it's also a source of great fun between all of us. That sort of social difference that he has.
Yeah, that is pretty funny. He got the nickname. Go in a little bit more detail about how the character became known as Admiral Princess.
I can't even remember. I know it was Gomos who came up with it. That's for sure. I think it just happened. I think it was Gomos.
Maybe it's because the Admiral's a princess.
He's a prima donna.
Yeah.
His ego precedes his reputation.
They brought on some more crew members, and he's like, "Well, they can't sleep in my room."
And why should they, really?
To be fair, there's more to it than that. He's like an admiral and a duke and a really big, oversized bag of hot air. So Princess just kind of came naturally.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he likes to be spoiled.
True.
All hate aside,
like I said, he likes the finer things in life.
Yeah, no.
But he shares. I mean, he shares.
Yeah, he does. and he's a good gambler, and he's a good pilot, and
accidental good gambler. I'm on the cusp of actually getting Carouse one.
So, how did your character come to know these other space scallywags?
Sorry, I was just coughing in the background there. I didn't want to blurt everyone out. So I mean, the primary way that I'm connected with the crew is I'm a part owner, and the strongest connection is with Dr. Al-Jahar and the ship where once upon a time I, as part of my naval duties, ended up having to command an expedition to extract a certain doctor who had gotten into hot water but was doing important research, maybe had killed a child, and get him off the planet safely. So that's where that connection was made. And the other character that Haxton referred to, you killing earlier, also had a connection at that time because he was I think a Marine on one of my ships at the time of that extraction. So
we don't talk about him though.
We don't talk about him after what he did. He's dead to us. and
literally, and also dead. Yeah, we talked a little bit about Saito earlier. So what about you? How about your character? The thing that you brought with you, since you weren't here for something found. So you've been holding on. Your character's been holding on to some sort of object that they keep carry around with them in a box along with their travels, their keepsakes or whatever.
I didn't get to that. I didn't get to that one yet, but I already got the gift flushed out.
Let's hear your gift. Yeah. That was fast.
So, yeah, so he's got a silk black tie that was given to him by his sister at his naval graduation because he was never expected to make it. Coming from the lower classes and the societal impact that the upper ranks have on the Navy and graduation. So his sister kind of went out of her way and really broke the bank and gave him a black tie to wear.
Oh, that's cool. That's very fast of you to come up with. Anybody else on the crew have an idea for their gift?
Yep.
Okay, let's hear.
I was gifted a log.
A log? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the one in his quarters.
It's the one we see in the snapshots of your quarters.
Well, no. That's the whole thing. You see, I come from like a tech level 6 or 7 planet, so that's like flintlock musket era. And I came from a backwater town. It's the classic story. Anyways, normally like a cultural tradition where I come from is everybody's got a log, and it's like you have your father's log, and your father had your father's log, and you sleep on your log. Because contrary to what everybody says, logs are far more comfortable and better for your back. I digress. Anyways, I didn't have a family growing up, so one throughout my education career, my mentors while I was studying to become a chemist, took time to me and actually gave me a log.
Go most robot voice.
Big deal. So anyway, every night sleeping.
Your satellite is being jammed. Try again.
Gomos lives in a rural area.
It always works. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
anyways,
it stopped. Go ahead.
I was given a log by my mentor, and it was a big deal, and it's been with me ever since.
All right. So the traditional cultural log. The log of your people.
The symbol of my people.
Yes, that's right. It's better than bad. It's good. It's a log. All right, cool. Anybody else, real quick, before we start up with?
So I also came up with the something found.
Okay,
as well.
Let's hear it real quick.
So it was because you said early on in your kind of life or career or whatever. So he's got a kind of a lucky wrench that he carries around with him.
A lucky wrench. All right.
Yeah. So just in case that Starship console needs a good whack.
There you go. All right. That's a good idea. These are all very creative, and you guys are coming up with them pretty fast, so I'm pretty impressed. All right, so we're going to get on with the next interview, and that is going to be our friend John Watts of Independence Games. He is the creator of Clement Sector, Earth Sector, and a bunch of other sci-fi RPG books. You can find his stuff also on Drive-Thru RPG. There's so many things he publishes, and they're good quality stuff, so go check him out. Here is the interview with Mr. Watts.